Welcome into a Packers Week 18 offensive breakdown, their game against the Chicago Bears. Obviously, this was a tough loss. The Packers offense, they couldn't finish drives in touchdowns. They did have a much better offensive performance than the Chicago Bears, but that is not saying very much. They had 2 turnovers, and worst of all, the bad coaching decisions, especially at the end of the game, are the reasons why the Packers were not able to win this game. So let's dive into the film and see exactly what happened. All right, first play, we've got a 3rd down, and I'm not too sure about the read here by Love. You can tell he's going through his progression, but Bears end up running a form of inverted cover 2 here. So this middle high safety, he's going to shoot down, and then you're going to have 2 deep here. He's going to come down to the flat. You're going to have a couple hook defenders, and then for some reason, he's going to be man here, and whatever the call was, all right, he's gonna get man there. And if we look up at the top of the screen here, we've got Kraft, who is just wide open, and that would be an easy 1st down, but you can tell he's going through his progression from right to left. So if we look, Keith is covered here by this walling off defender. You've got Watson, who's going to be running a hook route or an in route at the sticks and is not able to create any separation. And then finally, it's going to get to the check down. Kraft probably could have kept his distance here more towards the sideline. Instead, he's going to step further in. I think he realizes that this check down is going to be happening. So he's going to throw it down to Brooks, tries to get a block for him, but that ball is just inaccurate. So this play on a 3rd down, moving into Bears territory, again, could have been an easy 1st down, but doesn't end up being so. And that's just kind of the start of the Packers' troubles. All right, next play, we've got drop back game here. Love going through his progression, ends up finding Wicks for a 1st down. Just a really nice job by Wicks. He had a pretty solid game. We'll see a couple other plays here by him later, but this is just a simple Coco bow. So Coco, you've got essentially a coin route here and then a corner. And then you're going to have an arrow route, which is going to be kind of like the coin route, but more angled on the inside. And then you've got a basic on the backside. So this is the concept by the Packers. You can see that long corner route by Musgrave, that dig by Watson, which is going to be taken away here, at least in Love's mind, right? He doesn't want to try to force this ball in there and have 2 backers potentially jump up and get it. So he checks it down to Wicks, who is able to get a 1st down. So clearly going through his progression, able to hit Wicks there for a nice gain. All right, next play. We've got a lot of good runs in this game, and a lot of them are coming from this counter. You see here, you've got a nice pull from Jenkins. Good block from the tight end as well. And a nice 1st down run for Jacob. So you'll see it a lot better from this angle. Of course, you got the motion across. Then you're going to get the down blocks. You can see the offensive line getting a nice down block. Tom is going to head directly to the 2nd level here. You can see him on a linebacker, able to do just enough to cut off his lane. That's a good wrap up there by 91 to stop Jacobs from getting even more yards, but you can see Elton Jenkins coming around, getting a nice seal. Then you've got the tight end, Kraft, coming in with a nice bang block there and getting through for a very nice run. All right, next play. Got that play action fake. Jacobs doing a nice job in pass protection. And a nice ball there completed to Musgrave. So we'll look at this concept in just a little bit, but Love getting hit as he's throwing that. That's why that ball is low and away and very close to being incomplete. But this is just a nice concept here. So we've got a high cross here. So you're going to have a crossing route. You're going to have a through route. And then you're going to have this dig that comes behind, right? So you've got this basic that's going to be coming underneath. And obviously he's going to hit Musgrave early on in that route. And we'll see it from the end zone angle as well. But doing a very nice job there. Able to complete it, get a nice gain. And you'll see the contact that happens with Love as he's making this throw. So the fact that he's able to get it there is impressive enough. So there you go. Good job in pass protection. Except for the one guy, 95 does a good job of bull rushing here and bringing Rashid all the way to the QB. And then you've got him tripping as he's throwing this. That's going to be falling a little bit behind, but a nice sliding catch there by Musgrave. All right, next play here. I think the Packers were a little bit conservative on some of their choices. Love here in particular, a little bit conservative. I think that Musgrave is going to be open here, but just going to pay attention to the details a little bit on this one. If you're going to watch Love here, he's going to pat the ball, which is essentially giving away this cue that he's going to be throwing it. And that's what is going to bring this guy down. You can see low and in front. All right, he's going to pat the ball. Boom. He's throwing it. All right, so he's patting the ball, giving that cue, and he's already coming down. Whereas I think if he waits just a half second and layers this throw a little bit, right, try to layer that a little bit over to the sideline, it's going to be very hard for that safety to make a play. Right? If he's getting this out in front, that's going to be a significant gain and a first down for the Packers. But he's trying to be conservative. He's playing it safe. And again, the next play, I'm not going to show, but the next play ends up being a screen on third down, and it goes nowhere, so they have to kick a field goal. All right, and this is right after that punt return touchdown that you end up only getting 3 points instead of a touchdown. So it ends up being 3-7 at this point in the game. All right, up next, we've got the end around here. Got some blocks that weren't ideal. Usually, if you've got 2-on-2 out here, you want one man to take each block. Cuts in front of Wicks. I think Wicks is probably, I don't know, Musgrave here is taking over that block. They both get engaged on one guy. So that's going to leave one unblocked man, who then is able to have a perfect punch there for a turnover and gives the Bears a very, very short field. All right, so far, special teams and offense are actually the reason why the Bears are in a position to win this game. It's not necessarily the Packers' defense that is failing them, and we'll see that in the defensive breakdown that I look at very soon. But there you've got that punch out happening. So, really good job there. Fist to the ball, and that's an easy turnover for the Bears. All right, this is the play that Christian Watson gets hurt. You can see him at the top of this. But Wicks does a nice job ignoring the injury for the moment. But Wicks, you can see he's going to get right behind the linebacker. So he's getting in this blind spot of the linebacker, and then he's going to slowly drift into open space. All right, so we've got essentially a cover 3 shell here with this middle read player. And you can see the eyes, right? Eyes are trying to get the linebacker to drift. So Love does a good job with his eyes, allows Wicks to get open, and that's a nice first down. Very unfortunate for Christian Watson, right? Lots of speculation on whether or not he should have been playing. I think as a coaching decision, if Dobbs goes out and Watson says he's good to go, then you're going to play him, right? So I'm imagining that Christian Watson was saying willing to play, which is why he's in the game. It's just very unfortunate that he tears his ACL there in a non-contact injury. Here, I think the Packers miss out on a touchdown, if not just a big gain. But this is just a bad read here by Love. And we'll get back to the start. I just think this is a potential touchdown here to Bo Melton. So you've got this drop. You've got play action. His back is facing the defense, so he can't read the coverage. And he starts to see the back of Jalen Johnson. So he's going to assume here that he's going to carry him vertical, but instead he's not going to, right? Jalen Johnson here makes a nice read. It looks back, sees the throw, and is cutting that off, but it ends up being in near triple coverage. But I think if he sets up at the same time here to throw, he sees his eyes because Jalen Johnson is peeking. You can see right here, right? You can see his eyes. He sees Kraft. So he's assuming that that's going to be this kind of break across. All right, so he breaks off his route or breaks off his coverage and is able to make a nice play there. Kraft not able to come down with it. But if this ball goes to Melton on the outside towards the red line, this is probably a touchdown. All right, and we'll see that a lot better from the end zone angle. You can see Bo jumping up and down. He feels he's open. We'll see it again from this angle. Speed it up a little bit. Motion across. Play action, turns his back, set and ready to throw. And just look. Bo all alone. If that ball gets put out here on that red line, 5 yards away from the sideline, right, that is a touchdown. There's no way in hell that safety is going to make the play, right? Bo catches it at the 10. Maybe he stumbles, doesn't get in, but at least you're putting yourself in a much better position rather than throwing it into double coverage, right? Again, Love can't predict that Jalen Johnson is going to leak off of his coverage and help on Kraft. Not going to break this down too much. This is just another counter and another big run here. So this was working quite frequently in this game. And you'll see it's going to be Jenkins and Kraft pulling again. All right, you're going to have that return motion here, the orbit, and then just Jacobs getting up through the gap and able to get a nice gain. Then they go quick. You've got 12 men on the field. All right, ball is getting snapped. And then this is the play where things break down. So Rashid not having a great game here. All right, he's going to get a swim move that gets past him. Love somehow gets this ball out to Jacobs, but this is the play that he hits his arm on a helmet. And we'll see it from the end zone angle as well. But trying to go quick, get them 12 men on the field. And then here, that contact with a helmet, hitting the funny bone. Hand goes fuzzy for the rest of the game, so they're going to keep him out as a precaution. But he should be back for the playoff game next week. And then you've got Malik Willis who comes in, and this was probably his best throw of the game. All right, just putting the ball in a spot for Kraft to go up and get it. And that is a very nice first down. Very good placement on this as well. All right, so he first checks over there, not there, and up and away, just above the coverage. And Kraft makes a hell of a back shoulder catch there for a nice first down. And then that obviously leads to this Josh Jacobs touchdown run. Keeping good balance there, crossing the goal line. Getting the Packers on the board, so this makes it 10-14. You can see a nice double there at the start. Tom gets a good push. Ryan continuously pushing the second level, and a nice score. All right, next play. This is the fumble by Willis. Again, Byer just comes in completely unblocked and causes a fumble. And that is just a great play by Byard. And trying to figure out who this is on. But if we're looking at the offensive line, this is a full slide to the left, right? So they're all going to slide to the left, right? So that means he's going to take the most outside man. If there's other pressure, it's going to be Jenkins, right? So full slide to the left here. You're going to have a little bit of a chip block, right? He's going to check and release to the center. And then you've got Wilson, who's going straight to the flat. To me, based on the flash, right? So he's going to flash here with the football. He's going to give that play fake. I believe that this is supposed to be a play action here, and then he's supposed to step up and block in a scat protection. All right, so he's not necessarily supposed to be leaving that early, right? He just releases and basically makes this an empty protection. So you've got a full 5-man slide to the left. You can see that there. And then you've got that chip on the right side. If Willis was aware, right, he should know that this side is going to be unprotected, right? If he knows that the running back is checking out. But it felt like here he didn't realize it. He felt he had more time. Doesn't see anything. And then boom, ball comes out. And that's an easy turnover for the Bears. So could be wrong, right? Of course. Not sure what the play call was. Not sure what the pass protection was. But it looks like you've got the running back releasing right away. You've got a bang release there, a check release, and then you've got a big turnover. So I'm not sure who is responsible for that, but it is not a great look for the Packers. And we'll quickly get through the next few plays before we finally get into the final drive, which is just baffling to me. But here you've got Brooks with a great run downfield. I'll watch it from the end zone angle as well. Getting good blocks from the linemen that are going to spring this through. Got the motion. Obviously the fake. Kraft coming through. Walker with a nice block. And Brooks with a nice 21-yard gain. Then the next play. This fourth down call I don't really get. Based on the alignment of the defense, I can understand why he made this call. Because earlier in the game, they did this jet sweep. They were able to get 5 yards off of it before the punch came in and knocked the ball loose. But he's going to run this jet sweep again. You're going to see Brisker. He's going to hop out, right? And he's going to be the one that essentially forces his play, right? So he's going to put Melton into a bind here, trying to block multiple guys, right? He jumps through. Melton, the only blocker out there, right? Now there's nothing else that you can do. So it's just going to be the pursuit, and Reed is not going to be able to get there. So could he have kicked a field goal here? Would have been a 55-yarder. We saw later that McManus was able to make that, but I just don't understand this play call on 4th and 3. Then we got a nice play here by Malik. Both Maliks, actually. Nice high point there of the football. Got a little out and up, a deep out and up. The route really wasn't that great. Doesn't really sell the out here, right? It just kind of rounds it, but he does go up and get the ball, comes down with it, able to get a big gain for the Packers. And then that's going to lead to the very next play, which is Wilson bouncing it out for a 21-yard touchdown. So really well done on those consecutive plays. Able to score, right? Put the Packers in a position to win this game in the fourth quarter. All right, here we are on the final offensive drive, and this just doesn't make any sense to me. Here, we've got 1:49 on the clock when this ball is snapped. All right, so first play, we've got the motion. You're going to have off coverage there on an RPO. Heath is going to be sitting there. Ball gets thrown a little bit behind. If this gets put in front of him, heck, that's a huge gain. So the read itself by Willis was great, right? He rides it a little bit too long, and I think that's why it's a little bit inaccurate. But able to get a nice gain on first down and put yourself in a better position. Now, for some reason, they go hurry up, which doesn't make any sense to me. Bears had 1 timeout left. You had 3 timeouts. So if you really wanted to continue moving down the field, right? So we got 2nd down and 5 by the looks of it. They go no huddle here. They snap the ball. They snapped it at 1:31. 1:31. This was after it was at 1:49. So they've only chewed up 18 seconds. Right? They've got a 40-second play clock. Right? So they could have taken 22 more seconds off before running this play. Right? So if you take off 22 more seconds, right, you're looking at 109 left. And if we look at the very end of the game, when they have 15 seconds left and they're able to set up that field goal with a spike, they wouldn't even have that time just by running the clock on this down. Right? Trying to get the Bears to use their timeouts. But instead, nope. You go no huddle. You run the ball. You get a couple yard gain. And then guess what? You go quick again on 3rd down. Right? So you get the snap again. Here you've got the handoff. This time you get tackled for a loss. So what you just got, you've lost. Right? And that snap was at 105. Right? So we've had snaps at 149. We've had snaps at 131. Oops. And we've had snaps at 105. Think of how much time you could have chewed off the clock here and kept yourself in a position to win. Now it becomes problematic because it's 4th and 4, 4th and 5. If you go for it, you get the first down, you put yourself in a much better position to win. But the problem is, now the Bears don't have to take a timeout. You've got 4th and 5 from 55 yards away for a field goal. They can just let the clock go down. They don't have to take their timeouts, right? They're already in the lead. So if they just let the clock go, the Packers have to take the timeout. But instead, Matt LaFleur takes a timeout here at 58 seconds, mainly because they're having the discussion of whether or not to run a 4th down play here to get a first down. But you call the timeout at 58 seconds, which is very, very early, before eventually deciding to kick a field goal that McManus makes. So now, Bears offense, they get the ball with 54 seconds left. They're going to be able to go down and get that game-winning field goal. So, to me, the clock management, the play calling here, didn't make any sense. And I'm not sure that they feel, they feel very good about how this drive went. I think they're definitely going to reflect on this and see how they could do things differently. But I feel like this sequence of plays in a critical moment is actually the reason why the Packers lose, right? The defense has a breakdown on the final drive as well. So this drive plus the breakdown on the final drive of the defense, that's really just a huge mistake. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching. I will try to get a preview video of the Philadelphia Eagles game, which is going to be coming up this weekend. So hopefully I can get that out by Friday, but we'll see. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.